If you want to learn more about the emergency brake on an LS 170 New Holland, this is a video you're going to want to watch. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can see more videos like this on the channel here. This is an overview of how these connections look once you get in here. And this is coming from the handle here. I'm going to go ahead and lower that. Let's make sure this is all the way down. That way you can kind of get a good look at this side. This is the fender over here. You can see this bolt and this one. And after you remove those two bolts, this will slide up and out. And this is over here on this side. In the owner's manual, it would almost lead you to believe that you need to remove the wheels and this also, this panel, but obviously you don't have to be able to remove the fender by removing all of that. It's just not necessary. There is a layer here of this foam that you may have to remove, and there was more debris in here than I would have ever guessed. And this is where the spring is right here. It's still a challenge to get in here and be able to do anything. You can get to this top part right here. And if you're looking at it from this side, you can see how it connects right there. It's got the threaded end there. Have to release the cotter pin. And even though once you lift this seat up and it's hooked back there, this connected right here. But I went ahead and hooked the seat up here, that way if whatever reason something fails, I've got it covered there. Because the only way I see for me to be able to get in here is to literally crawl in here and then come around here to be able to access this at all. You can see how the cotter pin goes around this right here. Move this up and down so you can get back here to this cotter pin more easily. You can get a needle nose and pull that old cotter pin out. And once you have this out, your bottom side is going to be the non-threaded. The top side is going to be the threaded side. That's about as far out as I can unscrew it. And I've just unscrewed it, probably about 1/2 inch anyway. As far as this other side, it's easier to get to. It's just not the same obstructions. Once you remove your cotter pin, then you can go ahead and relieve this. That should pull up here. Now we can get to this cotter pin at the bottom much easier. And once you get done wrestling the cotter pin off of there, then this will come out. Threads are on the top, no threads on the bottom. The owner's manual says the distance between here and here is supposed to be 8 5/8. Now you can tell that this is a fixed length, just like this other side is. I just don't see any way in the world that this could possibly be 8 5/8. Now if this was adjustable, sure. This, see, this screws out, so you can look here and see the distance that I have screwed this out. So when I was unscrewing this actually just broke. So don't be surprised if you go in there and it's seized up, and when you need to operate this thing fairly quickly, it might be found that it's easier to get one of these 3/8-16 bolts. Got a little dirt on there, but we're going to put 2 bolts on the end after we saw it off, and then bend it and recreate this part right here. We've got this nut on the end here, just staging it. I know I'm going to cut this off at 8 inches before I put a bend on it, and this will allow me to have a pretty flush cut when I'm cutting it off here in a second with a hacksaw. And go ahead and lock these in place so I can go ahead and put a bend on this. So this is the bucket, and this is going to work real good for what I'm trying to do as far as bending this down. But just to be safe, I'm going to heat this up a little bit. And this is an automatic torch. Just open that up. Now we're going to turn it off. Got 2 gloves here. See if we can bend this. It's promising. Well, it ain't gonna get much better than that. Whew, that's hot. Putting in this, screwing this in here, it just tightens up. I actually ended up having to cut a 1/2 inch off the bottom of this. So what I'm gonna do, this is the exact same measurement as the other one where this one stops. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill this out a little bit so this will actually go through here and I can tighten it underneath of it. Well, you can see the modification that I've put on here. I've added a lock washer and a 9/16 bolt there. And for that hole, this cotter pin here is actually this one. There's 6 different sizes of cotter pins in this package, but this one works the best. I have it on top here. I actually had to drill that old cotter pin out, and it just fits it like a glove, this cotter pin. Of course, I had to put the new bolt there, and you can see I've got a lock washer and a nut right there, and this nut on the top, and it's actually adjustable. I won't have a cotter pin hole here, and this fits down here as well. You can see here I've raised the control arm up, and I'm getting ready to put the cotter pin in place here. You hear it snap in there. Just move it down as far as it'll go. Push on it a little bit, not very hard. Now we can line up our emergency brake. So the way the emergency brake works, when you're raising it, you're engaging the parking brake. Now I have everything disconnected, but you can see here how it goes in there, and it has a cotter pin hole there. It goes into the control arm down there. When you make the distance more by unscrewing this top side, that screws into this part only right there. It has a sleeve in the shock, but it doesn't have threads. So when this is engaged, this also has a curve in it right here. That way this can go up and down, and I have the control arm there pushed down all the way, so that way I'll know if this distance needs to be adjusted or not. So as I raise this, you can see here roughly where this will meet up back here. That way it tells me if I have bottomed out over here. See, I still have some play. Now we just put the cotter pin in this one. And this helps stabilize it in here. You can tell here I have it ready to be bolted on here. How I'm going to do that is with one nut, then a lock washer, and then one more nut. And this is a 9/16, by the way. I'll just tighten this up and then we'll be done. This is the emergency brake. I've got it hooked up. You can see how it moves down there. And then over here on this side, see how it moves. And that's the homemade part right there. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can see more videos like this.